Welcome to Bluff Creek Podcast Radio. I am Ellie,
I'm Hudson.
and our special guest is Eric Peterson.
Thank you
Thank you for joining us today.
Well, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Eagan, Minnesota.
Where did you go to school when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I went to school in Eagan and Burnsville, and then I went to high school I graduated high school from Burnsville.
If you had to pick, what was your favorite grade?
Ooh, my very favorite grade was ninth grade, because I was the oldest one in the junior high. We didn't have middle school then. So I was the oldest one in the junior high, and that was the funnest grade for me. Sixth grade was also fun, because I was the oldest. Do you guys like being the oldest in the school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Yeah.
What college did you go to?
I went to college at the University of Wisconsin in Madison.
What did you study?
I studied engineering. I wanted to be an engineer because I was good at math and science, and I liked building things.
Was there anything that you wanted to be, but you knew that it would be too difficult to become?
You mean like an astronaut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wanted to be an astronaut. I thought it would be so cool. But that didn't happen. But I did always want to be a lawyer.
And then you became a lawyer.
I did after I went to college in Madison. Then I worked for a builder. We designed and built houses. And then I decided I was going to follow my dream and go back to law school to be a lawyer.
What's your favorite part about your job?
The favorite part about my job is that I get to help people who have problems. I like to solve problems. And so I also get to be kind of the leader. They ask me for my advice and my opinion, and I tell them what my advice is and what my opinion is and why they should do what I recommend that they do. So I like to be in that position where people ask me for help and I'm able to help them.
That'd be a fun job.
It is a fun job. It can be nervous. It can be difficult, and you can be nervous sometimes. Like when I'm in front of a judge, I still get nervous. Adults still get nervous even if they don't tell you.
What are some of your hobbies?
Ooh, my very, very, very favorite hobby is fishing. So I own a boat and a camper. So we take the camper with the family and friends and go to northern Minnesota where we can go camping on a lake and go fishing.
Where did you like to go camping?
My favorite place to go camping is on a lake called Leech Lake. It's a really big lake. It's like the third or fourth biggest lake in the state.
I think I've been there before.
Yeah? Was it really big?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like to go camping. I took my three daughters, Julia, Ashlyn, and Megan, and we drove all the way to California. And we drove right through Nebraska, the whole state. It took the whole day.
Yeah. Nebraska's really fun.
Nebraska's a beautiful state, isn't it?
Did you guys stop in downtown Nebraska?
In Omaha?
Yeah.
Nope, we didn't. We were on our way home, so we just drove and kept driving and kept driving and kept driving until we
Next
made it
time
home.
you should. It's really beautiful
I'll
down
do that.
there.
Next time we'll stop in Nebraska, okay?
Who's in your family?
Well, when I was growing up, I had an older brother and a younger brother, and then the baby of the family was my sister Angela, and she's a school teacher. And my dad was a school teacher, too. So we have a long line of school teachers, and my grandma was a school teacher, too. So there's been a lot of school.
What grades did they teach?
I'm not sure what my grandma taught, but my dad was a sixth grade teacher, which was in elementary, so it was really kind of like you are now. You're in fifth grade, you were the oldest of the elementary. He taught that grade in Burnsville. And my sister is a high school teacher. Home and family science, home ec we used to call it, cooking class. You get to cook in school. she teaches that. She likes it.
Yeah, my brother, that was his favorite. That's his favorite class, is like a cooking kind
The
of
cooking
class.
class, yeah.
Yeah.
And now my family is me and my three daughters. Julia, who is in 7th grade at Jessica Middle School West, and Ashley and Megan are twins, and you know them.
Yeah.
They go to school here in 5th grade, just like you guys.
What are some of your favorite foods?
Ooh, my very favorite food is right in line with my hobby. I like to eat the fish that I catch. I like to catch them and clean them and cook them and eat them in that order. I also really, 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 really like cookies.
Oh yeah, I love cookies too.
Who doesn't?
I
I like
love cookies.
all different kinds. What do you like better, donuts or cookies?
I don't like donuts at all.
So cookies?
I like
Definitely.
I like
Cookies?
soft cookies, no, not hard cookies.
Yep, soft cookies.
Yep.
My
Oh.
mom makes famous cream cheese cookies.
Ooh,
They don't taste anything like cream cheese, but it just makes them super soft.
I bet they're good.
They're so good. They're
Have-
chocolate chip.
Have you made Christmas cookies yet?
Oh yeah.
Not yet.
No?
My sister did at one point, but I don't know if we're still gonna keep those. I'm not sure.
Did you eat them all? Not yet? Okay.
My favorite Christmas cookie is Spritz cookies.
I love Spritz cookies.
Yeah, I love Spritz cookies. And they're called Russian tea cakes, but I always call them angel balls.
Oh, they're white little
Powdered sugar.
coated, and they're kind of a little crunchy, right?
Yep,
Yep.
those are my favorite.
My grandma makes both of those kinds of cookies.
What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Ooh, my very favorite kind of cookie is ginger snap cookie.
My brother loves ginger snap
And I
cookies.
love dipping them in milk because they're really crunchy and you don't like them when they're so hard, right? You want a soft one?
Yeah.
You put it in milk and it will get soft. That's how I like to eat them. Those are my favorite.
What sports did you play?
I played football, basketball, and baseball, and my very favorite sport was football, and it still is.
Cool. What are your
Well, I don't play any sports, but pretty much almost my whole family plays a sport. My dad did baseball, and he played it till he was in high school. So he played baseball for a really long time, and he played on, I'm not sure what team, but he has a lot of baseball and football gear still left. It's at my Nana's house. So
What's the most interesting thing that's happened in your life?
The most interesting thing that has happened in my life. Well, what if I have two that are tied? Can I say both of them? Okay. When I was done with college, I always wanted to go to Alaska and to work on a fishing boat. So when I was done with college, I took a backpack. Well, I took an airplane to get to Alaska because you can't walk all that way. And then all I had was me and a backpack. And I went from the airport down to the docks where the boats were. And somebody hired me to go work on their boat. So for the whole summer, I worked on a boat in Alaska. And that was one of my favorite accomplishments that I did. I always wanted to be a fisherman, so I pretended I was a fisherman for one summer. Then the second one that's tied is I also always wanted to build my own house. So when I was working for the builder, there was a house that needed to be moved. It was an older house and it was a beautiful house, but they had to move it off of the lot. They were either going to tear it down or find somebody who would move it to a different location. So I moved that house from Edina to Chanhassen and put it on a new lot. So there was an old house that used to be in Edina that is now in Chanhassen. That was the house that I built. And we put it on a truck and moved it down the road in the middle of the night. And it actually had to be, because it was so big, it had to be cut into two pieces. So we took the house, cut it in half, put both halves on different trucks, moved them down the road in the middle of the night, and put them back together on a new lot in Chanhassen.
why would you move them in the middle of the night?
Well, you have to move it in the middle of the night because the house is so big it takes up the whole road, and so you have to get police to escort you, and they have their lights on, and so that there's nobody else on the road when you move it. You can't do it during the day; it has to be done at night.
Oh. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me here for lunch.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Bluff Creek Podcast Radio, encouraging you to connect with somebody new today.